Today we are trying some new makeup. I got some really fun things in the mail, and I figured if I'm intrigued by some of these things, maybe you guys will be too. So the first thing I'm gonna be trying out is the Too Faced chocolate palette. So it's a new chocolate palette. It looks like this. It's called Better Than Chocolate. It has a nice raised text right here. It's in one of the classic Too Faced tins, which it's been so long since I've tried an eyeshadow palette from Too Faced in this type of packaging. Literally probably since the peach palette, honestly. It does smell like chocolate. Here's the inside. It's mostly browns, neutrals, golds. We've got a pop of blue and purple as well. The reason why I'm excited to try this is because I was actually really floored and kind of caught off guard by how much I loved the Too Faced Sunset palette. So I'm already ready to try another Too Faced palette. I'm using my NARS tinted eyeshadow primer just to prep the lids a little bit. I had a facial yesterday and had some extractions done, so there's a little bit of redness and little aftermaths, but they should heal soon, and it's nothing a little concealer hopefully can't fix. Okay, let's dip into the palette. I'm gonna start off with this shade right here called Buttercream. This seems like it would make a really nice transition. So I'm just gonna start running this through the crease and a little bit above. Okay, next, I'm kind of into this mauve color over here. This is called Bite Me, and I'm gonna apply that on the outer edge of the eye. We're gonna start to kind of build up a little bit of definition here. It's a really pretty brown mauve. I really like that color. I'm just taking the brush we were just using with the Buttercream shade and just lightly buffing around the edges so that the two colors blend together really well. They always do such a good job with their metallics, I feel like. I'm just gonna swatch a couple to try to choose what I want to use. I think I really like this one, which was this bronze right here called I'm the Dessert. So I'm gonna pick that up on my fingertip and just apply it all over my eyelid. This almost has a little bit of a mauve reflect in it. It's a bronze, but it has something a little pink, pinky mauve, I guess. I'm taking the brush and just kind of sculpting out the edges so it's not too harsh. Same thing on this eye. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of this dark purplish brown right here called Bitter Half. I'm just wanting a little more definition on the outer edge, so I'm going to use this shade to do that. Okay, I'm dipping back into Buttercream, which was the shade we used as the transition. It was the very first color, and I'm just applying it a little bit higher on the eye and making sure to blend out all the colors just to smoke out the edge a bit more. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here called Ooey Gooey, and I'm just going to apply that with a brush on this inner portion of the eyelid. I'm actually going to take the shade Gold Digger, which is this one right here, and I'm just going to layer that right on top, kind of closer to the inner corner. I thought it'd be fun to have a little pop of gold in that inner corner. I'm going back in with the shimmer shade, which was I'm the Dessert, and just kind of tapping that onto the eyelid one more time in the center, just so we don't lose that metallic look in the very center of the eye. Okay, I'm just going to wipe away any fallout under the eye, and then I'm just going to press that down with my finger. Okay, next up, I'm so excited to try out this new mascara that was sent to me from One Size Beauty. This is called the Fantasize Mascara. Oh, it's upside down. Here it is right here. It's supposed to have 24-hour wear, curl length, and it's supposed to be flake proof. Ooh, okay, so here is the packaging on the inside. Let's see what the wand looks like. Nice. I wonder if this is going to be a tubing mascara. It kind of gives off that vibe, so let's see. Let's try it out. I'm just going to apply this to the top lashes to start. Ooh, I really like the applicator. It's really gripping onto my lashes, which is nice. It also seems to be building up nicely. It's got a little bit of a thicker texture off the bat, but I actually like that, especially because I love a lot of volume with my mascaras. So I really like how much grip this has right off the bat. Okay, well, I really do like how that applied. Of course, mascara takes a minute for me to really figure out if it actually works or not, just because sometimes as the formula dries out a little bit, it can change, but I will leave a note in the description box down below letting you know how it wore today. And I really did like how it applied. Gave me good volume, gave me some length, and it really lifted them like it said. So I like it so far. This was sent to me a while back and I just barely found it again, and I was so happy because I wanted to try this and didn't know where I had put it. So this is the Natasha Denona Skin Glass Primer Serum. This has insanely good reviews on Sephora's website. So it seems like it's supposed to be, you know, a skincare makeup hybrid type situation. On the inside, it says it has hyaluronic acid, peptides, microalgae, and natural sugars. So I'm excited. The bottle is beautiful as well. It looks so pretty. It's glass. It's very weighted. Oh, wow. It's a very iridescent serum. Hopefully, I'm wondering if you could see this. Do you see the gold reflex and iridescence in there? It's really pretty. Okay, well, let's try it out. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can see like the shine, but it's very, very golden. It has a little bit of a scent to it. Oh my. Oh wow. It has a very nice texture. It's extremely emollient and very dewy, as you can see. So this may be something that, you know, for oily skin, you may have to target on just the outside of the face, or even for me, we'll have to see how this works, because I do get oily in the T-zone. It's drying down and feeling a little bit tacky, which is interesting because that's usually a nice feature when it comes to primers. Wow, it's such a unique texture. I don't think I own anything quite like this. No wonder they called it skin glass, because it gives you truly luminous glass-like skin. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna let it sink in for a little bit longer. And I'm just gonna use my NARS foundation, since it's the foundation that I'm like the most familiar with right now. And let's just start applying this on top. So you can definitely see that serum shows through the foundation. The foundation on its own is not nearly this dewy. You can see how glowy that made my skin look. I'm already guessing that this might be a little too dewy for me in the T-zone, but on the sides of the face, I really do like that kind of a glow, so that's always fun. I'm just gonna apply my regular concealer, the NYX Serum Concealer. Nothing new here. I'm also using that concealer over my blemishes. Okay, and then I was so excited to receive this in the mail. I literally had this in my Sephora cart, but it was sold out in my shade for so long. It's from NARS. It's the new Laguna Cream Bronzer, so they have expanded the shade range. I think they had a couple of shades that were limited edition, and then they brought it back with a lot of different shades, and they sent Laguna 01, which seems like it's gonna be a perfect match. And then they also sent the normal Laguna shade and then a brush that goes with it. So let's see what this is all about. I'm so excited about this. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at the packaging. It's a nice gold. So here is the cream bronzer. I'm excited to put this on my face because Laguna is such an iconic shade for NARS, but I do feel like it's a little dark for me. So I'm excited to see how this lighter version looks. What a unique brush as well. I love the dome shape. It's a little bit angled. Not too big, not too small. Let's see how these work together. So I'm just gonna pick this up with the brush, kind of tap it into the back of my hand for a bit first, and then I'm just gonna start kind of pressing that into the skin. I feel like I've been trying so many bronzers and cream bronzers lately. It's just that time of year where brands launch all of the bronzers, you know, summertime. But I'm not getting sick of like the launches or trying them. I'm just quite the bronzer person, especially in summer, obviously. And I'm really enjoying trying all these different formulas and seeing what's best. Okay, well, I really like how this is blending. It's definitely a little on the warmer side versus like a contour, cream contour kind of a thing. I would say it's very much a bronzer, so meant to warm up the complexion a little more than sculpt. Does this have a scent? It does. It's very floral. It's kind of strong. Don't know if I love that fragrance, but hopefully it doesn't last on the skin. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my foundation brush and kind of stipple around the edges. I always do this with cream bronzer, just to make sure there's nothing too harsh. And then I always go in with my sponge too. I like how it's not overpowering for my skin tone. I think that shade works really well for me. I feel like it does sculpt the cheeks a bit, but again, it does add mostly warmth, which I don't mind actually. I really like it. I don't think it pulls too orange or too red either. It's just like the perfect sun-kissed bronzy kind of look. Where I feel like with the Charlotte Tilbury one that I've been using quite a bit, this is a lot more cool tone. So this is gonna give you a little more of a sculpt and warmth, but I kind of like just using a bit of warmth every once in a while. Okay, I like it. I got a lovely box from Westman Atelier. I just barely started receiving PR from them and I'm really excited about it, but they just launched a Vital Pressed skincare powder. This is such a pretty brand. It's very luxurious. Look at this little bag. How cute is that? And inside is this powder. They sent me the shade Pink Bubble, which is this light pink. You guys know I'm really into light pink powders. For me, I feel like a powder like this would be what I would use under my eyes. So that's what I'm gonna do with this powder. I feel like it's too expensive to try to use all over the face, so I'm gonna give it a go under the eyes to set. I'm just gonna make sure to pat out any concealer creases first, and then just press this underneath the eye. Okay, so here's with the pink powder, here's without. It does look really nice underneath the eyes. On me, I feel like even though it's supposed to be brightening, I think it does brighten my skin a little bit, but it's a little bit darker than a lot of pink powders that I'm used to. So it kind of color corrects more than brightens on myself. If you had more of a light medium skin tone, I feel like this would brighten a little bit more. But it does look really nice under the eyes. I don't know. I feel like I'm into more of a loose pink powder, like I have been with the Laura Mercier one. This is the rose colored powder, which I'm actually gonna use a little bit of this powder now, just to set the rest of the face. And then we will move back to eyes. So as you can see, as I'm powdering, that Natasha Denona Serum is definitely mattifying a little bit. Because it's so emollient, I wouldn't doubt that it's gonna come back through the powder. So I'm not gonna be like super shy with the powders. I'm usually not anyway, but just to kind of help combat too much shine, I'm gonna really press this into the skin. All right, we're gonna finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna start with the same shade we used on the top lid, which is Buttercream. And I'm just gonna buff that underneath the lower lash line. Okay, now I'm gonna take this dark brown called Bitter Half, which we use to kind of deepen up the outer edge of the eye. And I'm gonna use that to define the outer third of that lower lash line. I'm taking I'm the Dessert, which was the color we used on the center top lid, and I sprayed the brush so that it doesn't have fallout, and I'm just running that along that lower lash line as well. And then we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of the Gold Digger shade on the very inner portion of that lower lash line. I'm gonna sweep away any fallout, and then I'm gonna take that same Size Fantasize Mascara and apply it to the lower lashes. All right, next I'm going to apply some blush. I'm gonna use my Pat McGrath Flirtatious, which is one of my all-time favorites, and just apply that to the apples of the cheeks. And then today I received some Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. She recently launched some new shades and they sent me a few of them. So excited about these. I love Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, and these are the first ones that I've ever received in PR. I have a whole collection that I've bought myself because they're just my favorite. For this look, I mean, I don't want anything too crazy. Meet Me in Berlin is like a sheer brown. That could actually be really pretty. I'm gonna set that aside. They also sent me this one. So pretty. This is called Sunday Matinee. I love that name. That could be really pretty as well. That would just kind of brighten things up. And then the last one they sent me, well, actually they did send me Kitten Mischief, but I do already own that. So I'm wanting to try one of the colors I don't already have. And this is Rosy Shell, which is like a really bright pink. So I don't feel like this is gonna be the right vibe for this look, but oh, I can't wait to try that color. It's gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the foundation on the lips. We're gonna try out Meet Me in Berlin first, just to see how it looks. See, I feel like it looks so much darker in the tube, but with this specific formula, you can really sheer it out. And I think that's really pretty. So here's this one. I'll decide at the end. And then Sunday Matinee is a different formula. It's a little more saturated. That one is so pretty as well. I feel like it kind of clashes because I have a little bit more of a bold eye look on, but I'm so happy to have this in my collection. Imagine how pretty it would be with just something simple on the eyes. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. All right, so I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna do a little lip liner. Let's use Bear from Melt Cosmetics. Okay, and then I'm gonna take that Meet Me in Berlin shade from Lisa Eldridge and just do a really light layer of it, just to kind of create a soft nude lip. Okay, I really love how that looks. We're going to assess the situation. I know I already powdered the skin, but I'm gonna take a little bit more of the NARS bronzer. I'm just gonna apply that to the forehead. I feel like powdering it kind of lightened the shade a bit. I don't wanna lose that dimension too much. Other than that, I really like where things are and how they look. I'm just gonna set my brows with the Keys Soul Care Brow Gel. I'm not gonna use setting spray because I really wanna see how the Skin Glass Serum shows through by the end of the day. Okay, and then I think that's everything. I really like the final look. I do feel like I tried a lot of pretty products, but I still feel like there are some that stood out to me more than others today. So let's talk about it. The Too Faced Better Than Chocolate palette, I really do like this vibe that this gave. I like how there's a little bit more of like a mauve-y undertone to some of these bronze tones. To me, I don't feel like it maybe is something completely different than what I already may have in my collection, since I have so many eyeshadow palettes, it's insane. So that's where I'm kind of like, I don't feel like it's a need for me personally anyway, because the Too Faced Sunset palette I felt like was really special and added to my collection. So that's why I was so obsessed with it, with all the textures and the different like iridescent undertones. But I feel like I could make this eye look with a lot of different palettes that I own. With that being said, I know that Too Faced is really popular for their palettes because they do have so many neutral tones in here, which is always great for every day, or if you want to dress it up and do something more smoky, you can't go wrong with these tones. But it just isn't something different enough from what I already have. The One Size Mascara, it's definitely very like thick and grippy right off the bat. So I'm so intrigued by this. I can't wait to see how it wears on me. And again, check the description box for updates. But this is the kind of mascara that I like. If you're somebody who likes a more soft everyday mascara, you're not gonna be into this. It's definitely a very volumizing, very grippy, very buildable mascara. So if that's something that you enjoy, I think you'll like this based off of my initial impressions. Of course, I will let you know how this wears. Mascaras tend to smudge and flake on me because my lashes are so long. So I'm hoping that this doesn't. It claims to not, but we will see how it goes tonight. I'm excited about it though, based off of how it applied originally, just because I do love a good, like, bold, beefy lash, you know? I really feel like there's a time and a place for that. The Natasha Denona Skin Glass Serum is so pretty. Again, unlike anything that I've ever really tried, the texture is so unique. I may have used too much. It's gonna take me a minute to like really figure this out, especially after seeing how this wears by the end of the night. So I will, again, keep you guys posted. Check the description box. I can already feel though that I don't think I would load it up on the T-zone just because it was such a glass skin product. I feel like it's something that I'm definitely gonna focus on the outer portions of the face next time. But it's so pretty. I really am like surprised at how beautiful this is and how different it is. And it's one of those things that I feel like does stand out in my collection, so I'm excited to play with it. I hope it works for me, and I hope it wears well. I hope it doesn't make me look like a grease ball at the end of the day, you know? But I'm definitely intrigued based off my first impressions. I'm excited about that. The Westman Atelier powder, I mean, 10 out of 10 for packaging, honestly. I just don't know if it's a need for me, again, because I think I love and reach for more loose powders for myself, especially under the eye area, so we'll see if I reach for this, but I don't feel like it's anything insane for myself. It just kind of blended into my skin more than brightened. And when it comes to a Westman Atelier product, which is a very, you know, it's a luxurious brand, it's an investment. So I would want it to like really stand out for myself personally. And I feel like the Laura Mercier powder or even the Huda Beauty powder kind of does the same thing for me. So we'll see if I end up reaching for this or not, but I wasn't completely floored by how it looked on me anyway, underneath the eyes. Again, I do feel like if you had a light to medium skin tone, it would brighten a little bit more than it did on me. So that's that. And then Lisa Eldridge, she can do no wrong, honestly. I love her lipsticks already. So these are just new shades and formulas that I already know and love dearly. So I'm really happy to have more colors to play with. I can't wait to try the others. And I really do love this Meet Me in Berlin shade. I think on its own, I could definitely build it up to something more bold, but it looks so pretty sheared out with just one layer. It's gorgeous. I almost forgot, the NARS bronzer. I actually really did like how this applied, so I'm excited to keep using it, but again, since I've been trying so many bronzers lately, we'll have to see. I don't know if I'm gonna reach for this more than my Charlotte Tilbury one, because I've been really into that, and I kind of like the more cool tone in that one. I also just barely tried that new ColourPop one, which was beautiful as well. So all three formulas are really good. I liked the more warm tone that this gave. So I will say that it blended out beautifully. I have nothing bad to say about it, but I just don't know if it stands out enough, especially compared to my Charlotte Tilbury one where it's gonna be what I'm reaching for all the time. But I'm happy to have it, and I'm happy to have tried it on. I will just have to keep you guys posted. So basically out of everything that I've tried, I'm the most intrigued by this serum, the Fantasize Mascara, if it wears well, fingers crossed, and then the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. As always, I just think it's so beautiful. Everything else, we'll have to wait and see how I end up using it in my routine, but those three items really stood out to me today as something that I kind of get giddy about, you know what I mean? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing me try out some new things that I was sent in the mail. I would love to hear from you in the comments if you've tried any of these things or if you're interested in any of them, what you think about them. Are they things that stand out to you? Are you excited about them? Have you been reaching for them over and over again, or is it kind of something that you've seen before? I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, we want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.